Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom. Greetings to Yashar'al. My name is Symmanayah, and this is End Time Words. End Time Words to Yashar'al, an awakening nation of believers. So if you're tuning in for the first time, I want you to know that Yashar'al, in whom I am referring, are both Hebrew and Goyim, Gentiles, other nations, those that seek to worship and obey the Most High Father, Yahuwah, those who embrace Yahusha as Mashiach, as Messiah, Yashar'al, those that are made one by the sacrifice and resurrection of Yahusha, my Messiah, my Mashiach. End Time Words. My name is Symmanayah, and the subject for this segment of End Time Words is, have we been captured? Have we been captured? Have our attention, or the span of time, that measurement of time, have these things been hijacked? Have we succumbed to an unforeseen captivity in technology and entertainment? There are no rewinds, my brothers and sisters. There are no rewinds for our day-to-day actions. Once the things in which we have done in times past come to be, we cannot rewind and reset the clock. I'm not saying technology or entertainment is bad, but which is managing whom? What is dictating the use of our attention and our time? For remember, 1 Thessalonians 5:17 states, pray without ceasing. Would you not think that this requires our attention, a moment of our time? Again, I ask the question, have we been captured? Let's examine some scriptures. I want to read Exodus 13:18. So Elohim led the people around by the way of the wilderness of the Sea of Reeds, and the children of Yashar'al went up armed from the land of Mitzrayim, or commonly known to Egypt as some. Here we see where Elohim led. In order for him to lead us, we must give him our attention. We must give him our time. And I might sound redundant in this series, but it's important, my brothers and sisters, it is important that we understand the value of our time, the value of our attention. Exodus 13:21, and Yahuwah went up before them by day in a column of cloud to lead the way, and by night in a column of fire to give them light, so as to go by day and night. That was Exodus 13:21. Exodus 32:34, and now go, lead the people to the place for which I have spoken to you. See, my messenger goes before you, and in the day of my visitation I shall visit their sin upon them. That was Exodus 32:34. Deuteronomy 20, verse 9. Deuteronomy 20, verse 9. And it shall be, when the officers have finished speaking to the people, that they shall appoint commanders of the division to lead the people. Again, my brothers and sisters, these are scriptures dealing with how the Most High at one point led the people, how the Most High established order and structure, and the people were led as compelled by the workings of the Most High. Romans 8:14, for as many as led by the Spirit of Elohim, these are the sons of Elohim. 1 John 3:7, little children, let no one lead you astray. The one doing righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. So you see, my brothers and sisters, we are in a season where we should be attentive to the voice of the Most High. We should be sensitive to the workings of righteousness, His guidance, His living instruction. Let's continue on. Let me read some verses dealing with attention. Yes, we know the Most High will lead. Yes, we see and witness in the scriptures that He has used others and He has established structures in the leading of His people. Attention. Proverbs 4:1. Children, listen to the discipline of a father and give attention to know understanding. Proverbs 7:24. And now, listen to me, you children. Pay attention to the words of my mouth. You see, my brothers and sisters, in order for us to hear, it requires us to pay attention. And again, 1 Thessalonians 5:17, pray without ceasing. 1 Timothy 4:1, but the Spirit distinctly says that in the latter times some shall fall away from the belief, paying attention to misleading spirits and teachings of demons. Could not things that distract us, that take us away, could not these be misleading spirits or fuel or the fruit of misleading spirits? Could not things that take us away, erroneous teachings, be the teachings of demons? We must pay attention. Again, I ask the question, have we been captured? 1 Timothy 4:16, pay attention to yourself and to the teachings, continue in them, for in doing this you shall save both yourself and those who hear you. Of course, the scripture is saying we must allow ourselves to yield to the voice, the spirit, the instruction, the words of the Most High. As it relates to us, as it relates to the teachings, we must continue in righteousness so that we will be able to not only save ourselves by being obedient. And again, this is basically saying it's from our decision. Of course, it is the Mashiach that brings us to being saved. Hebrews 2:1, because of this we have to pay more attention to what we have heard, lest we drift away. Again, have we been captured, my brothers and sisters? Let's look at some things regarding time. Proverbs 25:11. A word spoken at the right time is like apples of gold in settings of silver. Can you picture that? Is that a beautiful sight? Again, Proverbs 25:11. A word spoken at the right time. How can we know the right time? How can we be familiar with precision if our attention, if we're distracted, if we're consumed by distractions, if we've been captured by other means? Next, I'd like to read Ecclesiastes 3rd chapter verses 1 through 8. 3rd chapter verses 1 through 8. Some of you may be familiar with this passage, but let me read it if I may. For every matter there is an appointed time, even a time for every pursuit under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to slay and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. Continuing on, verse 5. I'm in Ecclesiastes 3rd chapter. Verse 5 now. A time to throw away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek, a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to throw away, a time to tear, a time to sow, a time to be silent, and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for battle and a time for peace. Let me continue on. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 5 and 6. He who guards the command knows no evil matter, and the heart of the wise discern both time and right ruling. Verse 6, 8:6, Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 6. Because of every matter there's a time and right ruling, though the trouble of man is heavy upon him. Romans 13:11. And do this, knowing the time that is already the hour for us to wake up from the sleep, for now our deliverance is nearer than we did believe. Now I'd like to read Ephesians 5, verses 15 through 17. Ephesians 5, verses 15 through 17. See then that you walk exactly, not as unwise, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are wicked. So then, do not be foolish, but understand what the desire of Yahuwah is. Do we measure time? Can we agree that time can be measured as space or span from one distance to another? Remember, there are constraints and choices that fill our time. In other words, occasionally there are limitations to what we should do, what we are doing, or what we decide to do. The moment we act and begin to function, we are consuming a span of time, a space of time. Whatever gets our attention consumes that time, and minutes, seconds, minutes, hours, maybe days may pass or more. Again, I ask the question, have we been captured? Have we been enslaved unknowingly, unaware? Who's managing whom? What's managing our attention, our time? What must the Most High do to free us from the strongholds of those or the things which have captured our attention using unrighteous mechanisms? And I'm not saying technology and entertainment is unrighteous. It's what happens with technology or entertainment if we allow ourselves to be swept away from thinking on the Most High. Again, yes, these things can be used. So it's just like if you looked at a gun. It's only dangerous if a person is reckless with a gun. The same with technology or entertainment. But what my message is to us is, how many of us have stopped in our busy schedule to think about it, to think about whether we've been captured or not, to think about what's actually moving us, motivating us. Is it the spirit of Yahushua? Is it the set-apart spirit that we profess to believe in? Or are we caught up into things and stuff because of technology, because of entertainment, or for other varying reasons? Let us ask ourselves, and let us make a commitment to be free, to be free. If these things have such a strong hold on us, to what degree would the Father have to come and free us from these strongholds? What do you think must be done to free us from ourselves and or the neglect of things we take for granted? Who can grasp or embrace the fact that we are under attack in many diverse ways? Who can deny that, yes, humbling events are before us and they are intensifying? Who can ignore that in these humbling events somewhere we see opportunity to improve, to be perfected into righteousness by following the living and written instruction of the Most High, by listening to the voice of the Spirit of truth, the Spirit of Yahushua? Who can deny that reproof, chastening, judgment, and wrath will be fulfilled as stated in Scripture? What position do we take, my brothers and sisters? What position do you take? What commitment can you make? And when will you take a step and start filling your span of time with things that build the righteousness within you, within the body, within us, one to another? When? You see, my brothers, one step at a time, and we can substitute the unrighteous actions with righteous actions, one step at a time. And over a period, we'll look back, and that time might be a week, 2 weeks, a month, and we've come away from the things that have captured our attention, that have captivated us and distracted us. one step at a time. Yes, we look back to learn, not to pat ourselves on the back, or not as a person who have plowed and looking back, patting themselves on the back, thinking that they have overcome. We look back to learn. We look back in days of old and look at scriptures as though it was a big brother or a big sister telling us, do not do these things anymore, or these are the things that we should, or this is what it would be wise to do. Have we been captured? My brothers, my sisters, sometimes it is the weight of things that we have set, things that we think are more important than others. Are they? Are they really more important than other things? Have we grown so comfortable that we have taken so much for granted? How far? Do you think over time there's a span of distance? In other words, how far have we strayed away from that narrow path? Can we get back on it? What will it take for us to stay strong, stay focused? How much are we yielding to the Spirit of the Most High in such a way that iron is sharpening iron, that we building one another up in strength as members of the body of believers? What will it take? Have we given thought? Have we acknowledged the presence of the Most High in our lives, one to another? Have we acknowledged and embraced the rise in discernment and taken on the responsibility and accountability that is before us? Have we been captured? Who or what is managing our attention, our time? Who can grasp and or embrace the fact that we are under attack? If this sounds like a repeated question, it is. Let us discover the questions we must ask and form the expectation of the answers we seek. And let those answers line up with the guidance of the Most High. Pray, my brothers, my sisters. Pray and watch, because freedom from strongholds will come. It will be demonstrated. We shall see freedom. We shall grow to know that it is possible by the witness from the obedient of the Most High. In other words, the things we think might be too far or impossible, we will see demonstration of such. There is no such thing as a good excuse or an acceptable excuse. So let us be freed. Let us be about the Father's business. He promised that He will chasten those whom He loves. And in the wake of chastening, if there's no correction, judgment comes, and sometimes wrath. Pray and watch, my brothers. Pray and watch. Freedom from strongholds will come. We will be freed. We will learn to sharpen our senses and minimize the number of times we find ourselves getting off that straight path. Be encouraged and identify the preparedness that is occurring in your life, in our life, and the body of Yashar'al. Be encouraged. Our lives will grow stronger, will be perfected, and come away from compromising spirits. Know this, my brothers, my sisters. The Most High is not slack concerning His promises, nor is He slack concerning His plans for us. Until next time, brothers and sisters, until next time, pray on the matter. Ask yourself, have we been captured? Have I been captured? What am I doing to yield to the strength of righteousness that will free me from the things that has hijacked my attention and my time? Almighty Yahuwah, through His sacrificed Son, Yahusha, who has risen and ascended before the Father, whose Spirit guides us day to day if we should only listen. Pray that we discern, increase in discernment, and that we understand what we must do, whether it is to intercede in prayer and provide intercessory prayer for the things that is revealed to us, or whether it's to act. Pray, watch, study, pray some more, and discern with understanding the time is at hand. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, shalom. Shalom. Shalom.